have no man. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't need no man. I'm done. They always say your 20s is the best days of your life, baby. And I'm going to have a motherfucking ball. I ain't going to be on a roller coaster.
Okay, just ignoring for a moment the fact that we couldn't understand half of what she said there. The point still stands. These girls are out here jumping from guy to guy, from relationship to relationship, and then they want to get to the marriage phase, and they want to act as though they're deserving of marriage. Gentlemen, the more guys a girl has been with, the worse wife material she is. Wedding dresses, among other things, are supposed to represent purity. Okay, you see these women who they've got their adult content online doing OF and stuff like that, and they still expect to be wifed up and paid for, and men are supposed to pay for the dates and do all these traditional things for them. Absolutely not. But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be taking a look at that particular TikTok again. And we're also going to be jumping into a couple of posts about, there's nothing wrong with being high maintenance, as well as another one I've got here titled To the One Who Broke My Heart. Because make no mistake, gentlemen, these girls, they run from guy to guy, right? They run from guy to guy, and they want to pretend like they're, oh yeah, I'm happy and single, girl, I'm just living my best life. Meanwhile, they're still crying over that guy that broke their heart years ago, and they haven't moved on when they're in the next relationship. See, a lot of men think that they're in relationships with a girl, but in actual fact, she's still stuck on that last guy. She's still stuck on Chad from years ago. But gentlemen, we're going to jump back in. We're going to jump into this article first before returning to the TikTok, and it's a bit cropped a bit weirdly, but it's titled "To the One Who Broke My Heart." But guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't already. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, if you'd like to support the channel, guys, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. It's a fantastic way to get a little bit more out of the channel, as well as become a supporter. So if you're interested in doing that, the link is below somewhere. But let's jump right into this one, gentlemen. The one who broke my heart. I'd like to say thank you. You might not understand why I'm thanking you at first, but hopefully this letter will explain. It took me a long time to get to a place where I realized I had things to thank you for. You broke my heart, and for a while I didn't ever think I'd be okay again. I gave you everything that I had and loved you in the best way that I could, completely with all of me. I threw everything at making us work, and I wanted for us to be what I'd hoped we would be, more than anything I had ever wanted. I gave you every ounce of myself, but it turned out not to be enough. You see, girls will give themselves to Chad, to Tyrone, doing anything to please him. If only he could just part with his commitment. Please give me your commitment, Chad. And they realize no matter what they give, the guy will never commit. So dejected, they kind of walk away, still looking at Chad, and they secure another man. But they still want this guy. You see, these girls who are happily single and everything like that, what they're trying to do is they're trying to lock down a Chad. All right, they may claim that they're happy, but they're getting their heart broken left, right, and center. And I was watching. I watched I caught a bit of Coach Greg Adams earlier today. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. I like his channel and what he says. But there was something I disagreed with him on today, which was he was saying that if you're a guy and you're out here getting with these 304s, you can't complain about the behavior of women because you're creating their terrible behavior. Let me tell you this, gentlemen. These girls out here jumping from guy to guy, excuse me, they're gonna do it no matter what. It's not, these chads are not turning them into 304s. These girls are giving themselves away to guy after guy. Okay, now you can choose not to be that guy if you want. If you guys are looking at the current dating market and you're thinking to yourselves, wow, this sucks, I'm not going to get involved, I'm not going to blame you. to be honest, it is absolutely brutal out there. These girls will absolutely rip your heart out, gentlemen. Like, that sweet girl that you like, oh, she's been around the block once or twice, I guarantee you. Okay, but to make a note of that, these players that they're getting played by, they don't make them do it. They don't. Stop removing the accountability from these girls. Okay, like we watched a TikTok at the beginning, which we're gonna watch in a second again. But they know perfectly well what they're doing, going from guy to guy. It takes two to tango, gentlemen. And you know what? We're just gonna jump right back into that TikTok again and play it, just so we get a real idea of what we're dealing with here.
I don't have no man. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't need no man. I'm done. They always say your 20s is the best days of your life, baby. And I'm gonna have a motherfucking ball. I ain't gonna be on a roller coaster.
I mean, they don't want men to stick around. Hell, they're gonna get it, right? A lot of men are looking at this, going, "You're damn right, I won't be sticking around." They- These people think that they're like absolute queens who deserve to have their lunch paid for, their dinner paid for. A guy's got to prove himself, and men are looking at this like, "Are you serious? We don't care about your career. We don't care about your accomplishments. We're not interested in your little chadlet child to take care of." And I don't say that in a mean way, guys. It's just that you have to understand what men are not interested in this crap. We're just not. We're not interested in the girls who have a body count in the hundreds. Now, are there some men who will take in a girl like that? Yes, of course. Um, but we're looking at the rule, not the exception here. So let's continue with this. I think I think that's what was hardest to take, and in truth, what's been the hardest to get over. Not that you were gone from my life, though I must admit that that hurt too, but that I could give myself so completely to someone who I cared about so much, and it could not be enough. For the following few months after you left, I can't even begin to. So he left. So she didn't. You see, girls don't even give up on these guys. It was him who left her. That's so funny, man. I mean, it makes 100% sense, but I just wasn't thinking. But like these girls don't even give up on the Chads, like ever. For the following few months after you left, I can't even begin to describe the number of tears I cried, believing I could never be enough for anyone because I wasn't enough for you. I know now that this wasn't your fault. You couldn't make yourself love me any more than I could, and I forgive you for that. Sometimes you try your hardest to make the pieces fit together, but the edges have worn down and they just don't belong together like they used to. I understand this now, and I forgive you. This guy's probably like, what? I don't need your forgiveness. I literally don't care. I don't care. These girls are. It's like girls will do this thing, right, where they desperately need the closure. They need him to say, "Oh, I liked you. Don't worry, I really cared for you. I really liked you." And then she can walk away from the situation going, "Yes, I knew he cared about me. I knew he finally cared about me after all these months and us not being an official relationship. I knew he cared about me." And she can walk away with that. But guys, if you don't give girls that validation, they lose their damn mind. Their damn mind. And we're just going to address this before we move on. Um, this part right here. I cried believing I could never be enough for anyone. See, for girls, literally most men are invisible. Just straight up invisible. There would be men out there ready to commit to even the most crazy troll-like of women. There are men out there ready and able to commit. Good men too, that have good morals, right? They care about their family and their friends and stuff like that. Good men out there willing to commit to these girls, but they're bawling their eyes out, man, because they feel like they could never be enough for anyone because they weren't enough for Chad. You see what I mean when I say these girls base their self-esteem off of the higher value guy that they couldn't lock down? It is. It makes me laugh, man. It really does. Because it's really sad too. It's just incredibly sad. Can you guys imagine basing your self-worth off of like what other people think? Man, I this channel has grown. We've grown pretty sizable at this point in time, gentlemen. We got a lot of people viewing the channel. Can you imagine if I was just upset at every rude comment that someone left on the video? I mean, I don't. People are entitled to leave their rude comments if they want. Like it doesn't mean, oh yeah, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out feeling I'm not enough for anyone. I'm making videos for the people who want to see my videos. If there are people who hate my videos, that's totally fine. But you see, these girls, what they do is they base their self-worth off of what other people say about them. Isn't that just, you would never be happy if you did that. Guys, if I was doing this channel, right, and I was upset every single time someone left a rude comment, I would just never make videos. I wouldn't be able to move forward. We wouldn't be growing at the rate that we're growing. You see? It's so counterproductive. It's really sad to watch. Let's continue. I'd like to thank you for teaching me that love is the most powerful thing that you can ever give to someone. And even if that person doesn't give you their love in return, this is a hyperlink, by the way. So they've written an article about this because it's such a common problem for them. You're still so lucky to be able to feel so deeply. I'd like to thank you for teaching me that you won't always be right for everyone. And more importantly, I'd like to thank you for teaching me that that is perfectly okay. This is like a love poem, right? I'd like to thank you for teaching me that even though I wasn't enough for you, I most certainly am enough. I am beautiful in my own skin, and I am enough. I'd like to thank you for showing me that I am worth it, and for helping me to not only face up to the things I want to change about myself, but to look at my insecurities in the eye and also acknowledge the parts that I love about myself. I'm a better person because you broke my heart. I'm a stronger person because you broke my heart. I am a happier person because you broke my heart. And most importantly of all, because you broke my heart, I wandered into the path of someone who loves me. Again, this is hyperlinked. So you'll notice the two hyperlinks when you pair them together, they paint a very telling picture, okay? Ready? Look at this, okay? I couldn't lock down Chad. He didn't like me back, but I moved on to a beta. That's what the that's if you follow the hyperlinks of the articles that they've written about, because these are the common problems. That's why they're hyperlinked into some form of article or write up, right? Isn't uh sometimes when I watch these videos and we read these articles together, guys, sometimes I'm like, man, it's either depressing to watch to read, or it's cringe to watch, or it just makes me kind of pissed off, right? But sometimes they just make me, more often than not, they just make me laugh. Like, there's no point getting mad about this. A lot of the time, guys, it's way better just to laugh at this crap because it's hilarious. It really is hilarious. Alrighty. Someone who accepts my everything with open arms. Someone who gives me every ounce of love that I give to him. Someone who thinks that I am perfect. Someone who helps me realize every day that I am enough. In fact, I can never really thank you enough. You breaking my heart turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. This girl is still addicted to the man that this article is about. Let me point this out, okay? Where is this? Where are we looking? So this guy who loves this girl unconditionally and thinks that she's perfect, he comes in second place to Mr. Chad over here. You see that? This guy is, I guarantee you, is probably not even respected at all, to be honest. Or if he is respected at the moment, that respect will deteriorate throughout the relationship. She doesn't like this guy. She wants the guy that this article's about, right? That's hilarious. But we're going to wrap up this particular article, and I'm going to switch into our next one, guys, which is it's just an absolute banger of a read. Now I'm going to have to probably make this screen a bit bigger and adjust, but this is about the demand for feminine, submissive women, which just drives most girls absolutely crazy, right? Because if you're a guy and you express like demand for anything, like you have preferences or you want something in a girl, oh my goodness, they do not like that. But let's have a read of this here, and as I get this adjusted. Alrighty. The open demand for feminine, for submissive women by low-value men, I think that's what that means. They have their own like lingo in here. Is cringy as hell. They're everywhere. YouTube, the manosphere, or whatever. As if they don't know the manosphere, or whatever. Come on. Men lamenting that feminine women no longer exist, mocking modern women that display masculine traits like being career-driven and etc. Well, to any low-value man who agrees with such sentiment, maybe women figured out being submissive and soft to a low-value man leads to nothing but betrayal, overwork, and heartbreak. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be submissive to the guy who's already got about 100 girls being submissive to him, then of course he's going to break your heart. Like, of course. These girls want to commit to the guy who just will use them, right, and chuck them to the wayside. And then they want to think to themselves, oh, all men are like that. Being submissive and doing all of these things, it leads to you being betrayed. Most men are not in a position to cheat on a girl. You see that? Because most men have no girls at all. They don't like who is the average man going to cheat with? Becky, 40 years old. Like most men do not have options, and that's not because they're bad men or that they're immoral people. Some men are immoral. Some men do terrible things, sure, but there's a lot of good men out there who would just want a single girl. But when you read sentences like this, women figured out being submissive and blah 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 leads to nothing but betrayal, overwork, and whatever, and heartbreak. They're talking about Chads here. I'm just going to move this slightly to the left as well if I can. But they're talking about the Chads. So again, no sympathy. But what was it? Oh yeah. Also, when we bring up women who are they have their careers and they have their whatever the case may be, make no mistake, guys, we're not mocking them on the channel. If girls want to go and have their career, that's totally cool. Nobody cares. The point is that nobody cares if the girl has the career. We're not out here mocking them. making fun of them. It's like, if they want to have their careers, good on them. But if you want to talk about dating a man, right, and what men want, I mean, men don't care about the careers. So, and like, we're not bashing on girls for girls who want to have careers and have respectable positions. What we're saying is that that's not what men want in a partner. You see how they're just misinterpreting everything? And also, this point here, actually, no, we'll finish it off. We'll finish it off. Um, Maybe it's just better to get our own bag instead of relying on some mediocre loser. Want a traditional feminine woman by your side? Well, then be a traditional masculine man. Be a provider. But no, then you'd complain that the woman is a gold digger. You'd have to pick one. What woman in their right mind would submit to a selfish, low value man who can't even pay for the date, never mind providing for a family without breaking into such and such? Absolute hilarity. This is just a classic example of 80% of men just being straight up invisible to these women. They've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. They want to commit to Chad. Of course they're going to get their heart broken. What do you mean? But I'm going to switch back into the desk here, gentlemen. I'm going to see if we have one more article to. Oh, I do. I have one more article for us. Absolutely. Check out the title on this one, gentlemen. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being high maintenance. I'm privileged enough that I can spend a lot of money on beauty treatments each month. I do it because I enjoy pampering myself and love to feel good and relaxed. I do literally everything that is available and have not once regretted spending money on myself. I'm very into fitness too, so treating myself is one way to unwind. Whenever you see these two things together, okay, beauty treatments and pampering herself and whatever the case may be, and she does it to feel good and relaxed. She's pampering herself and she's getting beauty treatments because she's not relaxed. It's because she's anxious about how she looks. You can feel that value dropping lower and lower every day. You think you're going to be able to secure the same type of guy? See, they know, right? They know that they can't secure the higher dude, the guy who's wealthier, more successful, more attractive, if they themselves are not more attractive. They know that, but they want to they want to say, oh yeah, it's just because I want to feel good about myself and I need to go out into society and I just love pampering myself. I love just taking chemicals onto my face so that I can but it makes me feel good about myself. You can't make it up, man. You can't make it up. Here we go. My boyfriend loves the fact I have this lifestyle. He doesn't tell me that I'm doing too much and or that my money should be spent elsewhere. In fact, he spoils me even more than I spoil myself, so it's great. I got so used to guys telling me that I'm high maintenance that I started to think it was a turnoff. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. If you think that being high maintenance attracts guys, well, let me tell you, the type of men that is going to attract are not the ones that you're going to be attracted to. You'll attract the betas who will provide for you, but you're not gonna attract a man who you actually respect. It just doesn't happen. See this part here, right? About having a boyfriend that spoils her even more than she spoils herself. Why? Like why would you be doing that? This guy probably gets no respect, or he gets very little, or again the respect is going to diminish. That is actually one of the main criticisms I get. Of course, it never stopped me from doing what I like, but I had a growing concern that I wouldn't find a good, humble guy because of it. Now I don't care at all. Only low value men, excuse me, are intimidated by high maintenance women because they're broke and dusty. I'm high maintenance and that's okay. This is absolute craziness. Only low value men are intimidated by high maintenance women. This word right here just makes absolutely no sense. In any whenever girls are describing relationship dynamics and they use the word intimidated, it just shows how clueless they are. Just absolutely clueless. Men are not intimidated by women. Well, depending on the size, of course, right? But and the amount of piercings and tattoos and perhaps certain clubs that they go to. You know what I'm saying, right? Most men are not intimidated by your average girl. Maybe like a girl that's more like a looks like she's going to she's just absolutely gigantic, right? But guys are just not intimidated by girls. This makes absolutely no sense. What they want to use it to do is this is some BS to try and get men to spend money on them. Okay? Men do not like high maintenance women. Men are not intimidated by them. We just don't like them. We're just not going to commit to them. So this just shows whenever girls use words like this or little man or any sort of shaming language or whatever the case may be, it just shows how little clue they have when they're actually talking about dating. It's just so out of touch. Men and women live in completely different worlds, guys, I'm telling you. But gentlemen, we're going to leave today's video there. I hope you enjoyed the different articles and absolute clownery that we have going on over here. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Come and join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't already. And guys, if you'd like to support the channel, the Patreon is a great way to do that. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter, continuing the growth of the channel, be sure to check out that link in the description. But gentlemen, we're going to call it there. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.